So you guys know the steps already. I am getting water going for the syrup. I am soaking the peaches. I am getting the water for the canner ready, and I'm getting the jars ready. So get the things that you need out of the way so you can just start chopping your peaches. You can do it in halves, quarters, or dice if you like. And you can choose to have just boiling water instead of a syrup. The ingredients will be in the description. But if you do that, your peaches and nectarines can come out softer. So I just decided to do an in-between, a little bit less sugar, half of the recipe, just so that I can use less sugar because that's what I prefer. And I use raw cane sugar. So it did give the water a slight yellowish color. Once that's done, you're going to have a half of an inch headspace, which is half of the neckline of the jars. Just ladle that in. You take the debubble, take the air bubbles out, and it is harder to do when you have jars that are stuffed with peaches. You wipe off around the rim. You inspect before you put on the lids and bands. You always want to have a new lid. The rest of the instruments, the band and the jar, can be used multiple times. And I just want to give a hint or a tip that when you have a bunch of hot water, you want to ladle it in first, but when it's about, the pot is at least halfway empty, you can then go ahead and pour, but you still want to be really careful. Another tip is if you have wide mouth jars, they come in handy whenever you need to stuff your jars, but I only use my wide mouth jars for pickles. That's what they are reserved for. If I did maybe some whole tomatoes, I might use it on those, but I just make it work. So once they are finished, you can go ahead and put them into the canner of your choice. I'm using a steam canner here simply because it is quicker and it is my number one. And we will be processing these jars for 25 minutes if you have pints, or if you have quarts like I do, it is 30 minutes. Then you turn it off, let it sit for 5 minutes before you go ahead and take them out. So taking out the jars are my favorite part. I'm going to have the 5 quarts that you see me do, as well as a half a pint and I believe a 12-ounce jar. So as you can see, the peaches are floating. It's because the peaches were cold, but you just put boiling liquid over them. You can cook the peaches in the syrup and that will have a prettier jar. So if you are making this to give to someone else, you can consider doing that extra step. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.